So step 5 of our 10 step strategy is to choose your assignment. So we've already been talking about assignments and kind of giving these broad categories to two assignments like personal evangelism, church evangelism, street evangelism, digital evangelism. In this video, I kind of want to unpack those contexts and give you a couple ideas of what your assignment or assignments can be for this strategy. So first, personal evangelism, right? So there are people in your sphere right now, your family, your friends, your network, the other parents who drop off kids at the same time you drop them off, your neighbors, the people who are at the park playing with your kids when your kids are playing and stuff. Like when we're thinking about personal evangelism, we're talking about people that you know. And this is a great opportunity. Like the Yellow Card Initiative isn't just for street evangelism, evangelizing strangers. This is an opportunity that you can use in your own personal life with your friends and family. You know, when the World Cup comes around, people are going to be thinking about it. People who don't even like soccer, people who actually hate soccer are going to be thinking about the World Cup. They're going to know something of, the Cinderella story. They're probably going to know something of who's having a breakout year. They're going to be thinking about soccer. And our yellow card actually gives you an opportunity to leverage the moment, to have a tool to share the gospel with people you already know. So that's the first context that you could be thinking through. Personal evangelism. So if you're a ministry leader, I would really encourage you to have yellow cards at church where you can just distribute to your church members, right? Like we need to be able to equip our church people to share the gospel in their own spheres. And this is a great way, a great tool to help them do that. The second context I want to think through is church evangelism. So when we're thinking about church evangelism, we're talking about the programs, we're talking about the events, the calendar of our church. So we're talking about now not just using the World Cup as a leverage point for personal interactions, but for our church programs. So there are really a lot of assignments that a church can do to use the yellow card strategy. So I'm thinking like soccer clinics. You could do soccer tournaments, Red Robin tournaments. You could do adult leagues. I mean, we have a lot of kids leagues, but we don't have a lot of adult leagues going on. You could do mini tournaments on your facility or at a local park. Our church is actually going to do a FIFA video game tournament where we're going to play out the World Cup bracket. So we're going to do a men's event where men come onto campus, they hear the gospel, we distribute the yellow cards, we eat food, and then people are going to pull a name out of the hat, a nation out of the hat. And then they're literally going to play that World Cup bracket through with like 5-minute games. So you guys could do that. You guys can rent things like soccer inflatables or even soccer cages and make an indoor soccer arena in your parking lot. There is a number of ways you could leverage soccer. You could do watch parties. These are watch parties on your campus. You could do an opening day watch party, and you could do a final watch party. There's really endless opportunities here about what your church can do to leverage this moment to engage your community. And as you do that, you can use the yellow card. You could use it as a part of the time together where you make an announcement and you share the gospel and you distribute the cards. And you can also have people in your church trained to share the gospel with the yellow card who are just doing it individually. So some contexts are your personal evangelism, but also your church evangelism. The third context is, I think, digital evangelism. We can reach our communities and we can reach the nations on our websites and on our social media platforms. So again, I'm thinking here individual social media platforms, but also church corporate platforms. You guys can make a landing page that's connected to our website, or you can use some of our assets on your website. That would be fine too. You can link to them on social media. You can promote our stuff on your social media accounts. Also, you can have a church leader who uses the yellow card to share the gospel as a YouTube short or as something on Instagram or even on Twitter. Like you could actually do the evangelism in the digital sphere. And then I think the fourth context we're thinking about here is what we'd call street evangelism. And what I mean there is when you're sharing the gospel with strangers, like you are going to them, they're not coming to you, you're going to them and you're doing it with strangers. And really that's probably going to be the context where we can engage most with the global audience, like those visitors, those tourists from Iran, from Morocco, from Japan, from Brazil, like they might come to your church event, but they're probably not. They're probably going to go to the games, the restaurants, stay in the hotels, and check out Disneyland and the beaches, right? So how can we get to them? So some ideas I'm thinking about is, can we send teams to go to Uber and Lyft drop-off and pickup stations? Can we send teams to bus depots and train stations? Can we send teams to the actual venue and be in the parking lot, to be at the pregame festivals? Can we send teams to community watch parties? FIFA will have watch parties. I think the main watch party is going to be in Long Beach, sending people to downtown Long Beach to engage with people. But also, people are going to be eating. So when we identify where people are staying, are they staying in LA? Are visitors staying in Pomona? Where are they staying? Targeting those hotels and those restaurants around those locations. Clearly, when people come to California, or they're going to go to the beaches, right? So in my context, I want to be sending teams to Santa Monica, to Newport Beach, to the places where I know people will be congregating, downtown Disney. So what we're thinking about the actual assignments, I mean, there's so many options, right? There's assignments that are regarding personal evangelism, church evangelism, digital evangelism, and then street evangelism. So I think it's just easy to say there's endless ways, but how your team, your ministry setting, and your church, the assignment they should choose, like, man, you need to really pray and seek God and take inventory on the gifts and skills of your people. And then in prayer, decide what you're going to do. You need to decide on your assignment or your assignments.